Well, good evening. This is the last official Astro Cafe for the year. I'm your host, David Lee. We've got quite a number of items here tonight. Is there anybody new here that would like to introduce themselves? I think I've already got one person here, but they're only sort of new because I didn't recognize them. All right.
So
Let's see.
I can briefly intro if you can't remember what I said last time, or if other people might be in the group that weren't either. Yeah,
Yeah, go
I was
ahead.
just I was invited along by Gary Sedan, who I don't see with us tonight, so he stood me up. But yeah, he was just we were talking about something or another, and I kind of leaked out that I know very little about astronomy, but I'm just awestruck and fascinated when I look up at a good starry sky. And he kind of said, "Hey, you got to come along," and so it seems I'm in good company with that.
Well, you
Um,
definitely
I,
qualify, Keith.
that's wonderful. No, I kind of was introduced, I guess, to stargazing as a young guy in the southern hemisphere during a year in which I was conscripted into the military, and we got to pull a lot of guard duty, and so you're out there with a rifle in the dark, and we sometimes you just see those wonderful skies from horizon to horizon. And I kind of got to know some of the constellations more by sight than by anything else.
Mhm.
Just Orion's Belt and the Southern Cross and so on, and just looking at it all and not really having a lot of academic knowledge about it all, but just thinking, wow, I'm so small and that's all so big. And
Mhm.
just it was it was a good way to spend time out there on a lonely field among radar sites and barbed wire fences with nothing much else to do
Well,
for
that's
hours
that's
at a time.
wonderful. I mean, I would imagine that's probably many people's story here. Maybe not as a job, but certainly that fascination with not knowing anything. Yeah, that's great. Well, thanks, Keith.
Where,
Um,
where in the Southern Hemisphere?
It was in a place called Petersburg in South Africa, in the northern part of South Africa.
I was thinking Australia, but now I'm corrected. That's great.
We were there
Oh,
in September.
yeah. Is there anybody out there in Fairfield land that's new? I actually noticed that Chris Pearce is back. I don't know. Do we want to get a report from you, Chris?
Oh, not tonight. I
Okay.
managed to pick up a cold somewhere along the way getting home, so I might doze off in the middle of it.
Okay. We'll give you a
Next
poke.
next year.
Yeah. Okay. And next year that's not that far away, is it?
No, it's not.
That's great. Okay. Well, we may as well get started. If there's nobody else with announcements, you might be reminded a little bit later, halfway into the program. So just raise your hand and let me know. I've got a few items. I have some news items, and then I have a report to give in Randy's absence. The RASC Glass Orchestra performed this weekend, and I've got some pictures of that. And I see there's some members of the orchestra here, which is wonderful. And I see members of the audience here as well. Um, I was definitely a wonderful experience. I'll get into that after I tell you the other things here. So, and Jeff asked me to remind you of the Three Eye Atlas Close Approach this Friday. So I'll talk a little bit about that. Um, Ken, I think, has got maybe a small report on what's going on in Texas with his remote scope. CJ's got some information about some custom dew shields that are coming out of China that people might be interested in. That's curious. I mean, they can be expensive devices, so I'd be curious to see what that's all about. And Susan has a couple of questions which we're going to field near the end. And Natasha as well. Natasha, you have a little bit of a kind of a follow-up on the meteorite presentation, and finally, and not least, Darren Delorme has an announcement of a VR product that he's working on. I'm quite interested in seeing that as well. So I don't know what order we should do this in, but let me get the RASC Glass Orchestra out of the way. So I'm going to take over the screen in a second here. Okay, let me cue this up first. Okay. I have to remember to share sound. Okay. So here's the lead thing. I'm just going to play this up. Before I start playing this, it's kind of organized into kind of like setup, and then there's a few images of the glass orchestra performing, but unfortunately no sound because we're not licensed to broadcast the music for this. But I would advise everybody to do a Google search, and I'll drop it into the chat for stars choral, and that'll bring up numerous YouTube videos of performers doing stars, and it's a very beautiful piece. So let me start this, and I'll narrate some of this. I didn't do any voiceovers, but there is a little video clip of Randy and the group tuning. So yeah, so it all actually started. Randy did bit of a scan of the Zenfolio, and then he collected all these images, and these were actually used for specific parts of the program. So we'll see what that's all about in a second here. You'll recognize the usual culprits. Now this is Eva actually tuning the glasses. So there's apparently quite a trick to tuning the glasses. You got to fill them with the right amount of water to get a particular note. And this is Randy with the cart of glasses ready to roll them on near the stage. And he's got specific notes.
Hi, we are the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada Glass Orchestra.
You can hear the sound. So here's some shots. This is a pre-concert. You can see the screens where the things, and you can see me. I'm up at the top at the gallery, and I'm queuing the slides for the program. So you'll see. Here we go. And now you'll see a few quick shots of the orchestra. You can see Lori there, and Margie, Randy, and Eva. Everybody was dressed in black.
Pretty normal for a choir.
I never wear black. Yeah, I think that's it, actually. I don't know if anybody else here has any kind of comments or questions. I don't see any hands up. Jim and Betty, did you have any comments or?
Well, we tremendously enjoyed the entire concert, and we thought the glass orchestra performed very, very well. So I couldn't help but think back a decade or more to IYA. It all was coming back with all the
Yeah.
opportunities the RASC exploited to support outreach in the community.
Great. Thanks, Jim. Is my audio okay? I seem to be maybe breaking up a little bit. Am I okay? Okay.
You were okay, but Jim broke up a bit.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
But I
Okay.
was gonna add, yeah, I attended yesterday as well.
Oh, yeah.
Quite enjoyable. And I enjoyed the backdrop images accompanying all the pieces. And the last one, David, I was hoping you'd tell me a little bit more because it was described as the hidden galaxy. And
This is David Paynes, and we're very
yeah,
fortunate to have David here. And if you have any
yeah,
questions, you consider direct them to David.
that's what I was about to do. So that hidden galaxy is hidden by the dust in our Milky Way, but I'd never heard reference to that before I saw the image yesterday. So can you tell us a little bit more about where it's located and is it possible to see it through a telescope?
Yes, you could see it through a telescope. It it would be visible by the naked eye if there were no dust in front of it, and it's quite large. Um, I'm going to have to check my notes, so if I could return to it in a few minutes.
Yeah, we can come back to it a little bit later. Just let me know when you're ready, David, and we can kind of move on to some other things in the meantime.
Sounds great.
All right, thanks. Okay, I've
How many
got.
how many of the performers' fingers hurt?
I don't know. I haven't taken a survey, so I don't really know.
They didn't hurt, but they were wet.
Yeah,
And
I'm
it
so I'm
was just water in the glasses, really, honestly, it was just water.
even though I have a picture of one of the members of the glass orchestra drinking the contents of their glass.
What?
I don't know.
What? No.
Me too.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not allowed to say, I guess.
And
Um,
David, and did she produce any note? That's the question.
True. Yeah. No, I did just to close off the glass orchestra thing. I do love music, and I was unexpectedly moved by the music. I realize now how universal a message it really is, and I don't need to tell the musicians out there and the people that do choral this at all, but for somebody who's not really that musical, it's a very moving experience, like many forms of art are. And I think if we, I know, I think a lot of people present these choral pieces as, uh, invitations to thoughts of hope and things like that. And it's certainly a kind of a universal theme. Very, very nice. I do recommend people Google stars choral. You'll see many sort of presentations of stars. Eric's Eschenwalds, I think is his name, is a Latvian composer, and he's a relatively young composer. But I understand after talking to Margie that he's quite well known, and he's done many pieces. And in fact, I came across something by a chamber group called Cantos, and it's I think subtitled Sleep, and there's some really beautiful choral pieces in that particular album as well. So yeah, definitely check it out. Margie, did you have any additional comments or?
Only that it was a lot of fun to do. It was just a wonderful combination of music and science.
Oh wow, the word science. Well, you know from the book that you borrowed from me that they're meant to meet, right? Science and art. All right. Okay,
I have a question.
sure.
Who brought us together with, sorry, with this particular choir?
I think it was Randy. I don't know how Randy made the connection,
Hmm.
but yeah, Randy organized pretty well.
We
Oh, Margie has a
Yeah, it started
hand
a
up.
year ago. Margie, you go ahead.
I've is Brian there?
Yes.
He is, yeah.
Okay, Brian can explain the first part of it.
Okay, okay.
Well, the director Catherine Whitney was directed the performance last year, and then we brought her on to Astro Cafe, and then we followed up, and then I think she just connected with Randy again with regards to this performance by the Bentum singer. So this is the second kind of encounter we've had with Laura Whitney and one of her choirs.
Amazing. Great. Thanks. Thanks for the background. That's wonderful. And I see David has a hand up. David, are you ready?
Yes, I don't know if you want me to show.
Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead, show the galaxy.
Where's the share? There we go. You got it there?
I'm starting to see something. Not quite yet. Yeah, I see it.
Okay, there we go.
Now you see it.
Now you see it. This is my astrophotography interpretation website, in case anyone's interested. It's kind of technical, but if you're a science geek, you might find it interesting. Its address is up here in the corner, aprealspace.com. But anyways, the hidden galaxy, it is not part of our local group, but it is the closest galaxy to us in our local group. It is rather large. You can see it through binoculars. It's in Camelopardalis. It is brown because of the dust that we see. It's a brownish color. But I've still beginning to see some star-forming regions in there. It just happens to be right on the equator of the Milky Way, where most of our dust is located. It's, what did I say here? It's half the diameter of Andromeda in real terms, and about 4 times the distance of either Andromeda or the Triangulum galaxy. Okay.
So that's the giraffe constellation, I think.
Yes.
Camelopardalis, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it just looks like it's below Cassiopeia and to the left of Perseus tonight at 60 degrees above the horizon northeast.
But it is obscured by cloud, or will be.
Yeah, it's got
Yes.
cloud and dust in front of it now.
Yeah.
But I took this picture in May, so that's when it's really nice to see it. So it clouds should open up sometime before May, I think.
Lori, I have a question for you. You put something into the chat, namely Ben's name. Is that because Ben had his hand up, or?
Sorry, I'll email him privately. It was just something about a publication. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll
All
get
right.
in touch with you, Ben.
Yeah, I thought I may have missed
Sorry,
something.
it's just
Okay.
I messed up.
Oh yeah, no problem. No problem. Okay, let's try something from Natasha. A follow-up about meteorites.
Thanks. Thanks, David. So, 2 weeks ago, by the way, I vowed to stop beginning sentences with the word so. That didn't work.
Oh,
So 2 weeks, geez, 2 weeks, talk about automatic pilot, boy. So 2 weeks ago, I made a very short presentation following up Phil's fascinating talk about meteorites, Phil from London, Ontario. And I realized that I didn't really know the origin of the meteorite in the special pin that my late husband arranged to have presented to Chris Hadfield. So I did it again. So the meteorite comes from the Sikhote Allen Fall in Siberia in 1947. And there you see the arrow pointing to the spot. So there was nobody around with a camera at the time and place. I mean, it's a fairly remote area, but there happened to be a painter who was out doing some landscape painting, and he observed the whole thing. So later he made this painting, which has become quite famous in Russia, and they made this stamp based on it.
Wow.
So it's the largest witnessed meteorite fall in modern history. Estimated 23 tons of fragments recovered from a massive iron object that exploded over Siberia. And while other meteorites like the Hoba meteorite are larger overall, the Sikhote-Alin is famous for its spectacular documented atmospheric entry and huge debris field. So it was a huge flash and loud sound of the fall were observed for 300 kilometers around the point of impact. Excuse me. And there was a smoke trail estimated at 32 kilometers in length, remained in the sky for several hours. So you can imagine it must have been a very, very dramatic event. So it entered the atmosphere at high speed, creating a fireball brighter than the sun with this long smoke trail. It broke apart violently at around 5.6 kilometer altitude. And the impact scattered iron fragments and creating numerous small craters and pits, some up to 26 meters wide. So I'm assuming that several of you have heard of this meteor fall since it's so famous. But here's a piece of it that was donated to the Meteor Crater Museum of Astrogeology in Arizona, which I was not aware of. So yeah, that's just a very brief follow-up to the original presentation. So thank you.
Okay, thanks, Natasha.
How big is that piece that we're looking at on screen right now?
I don't know. I was going to check into it, but I don't think it's huge. Most of the pieces that I've seen are being at the most a foot long. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
very cool.
I can recommend that meteor museum. It's by the big crater in Winslow, Arizona, standing on the corner.
Right, in
And,
Winslow, yeah. And you've been there, eh?
yeah, it was really good. The meteor just missed the visitor center. It's right on the edge of the crater.
Right.
That's hilarious.
That's great. Thanks, Natasha. I think this might be a good segue to do some news here. Jeff Pivnik reminded me of Three Eye Atlas. You know, that controversial comet that people have purported to have alien life and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. It's the third. Here, let me get to the slide here. So, yeah, so Jeff reminded me of this. This is from Nature magazine. So on the 19th, which is this Friday, it's going to be 269 million kilometers away, and there's a recent image of it. Its claim to fame, I guess, is that it's the third object that is interstellar. So in other words, it's outside of our solar system. I think the first one was Oumuamua in 2017, and then Borisov in 2019. So this is 2025, Three Eye Atlas. So I understand that it's not that easy to see. In fact, I heard that if you don't have at least a 300 millimeter, you know, telescope, you're not going to see anything. So your best bet is probably imaging. Oh, CJ, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I was just hoping that Dan would organize a session at the with the Plaskett.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be
Because
clear.
yeah, last time he said that sometime he organizes a session in the winter because the
Yeah.
nights are longer, and I was hoping that I would organize something so we could try to image Triae Atlas because it's
Yeah.
mid-December. It would be right in the window of visibility for the Plaskett
Well,
Observatory.
December 19th, and you know that's not an absolute date. I mean, that's closest approach. I mean, if we window around it, and you're quite right, if we get a an opportunity, I don't know whether we would be able to do that, but I mean,
Well,
we could even try our own VCO. We could try the 12.5, I
oh yeah,
guess.
yeah, that would be a good idea if we have
Yeah.
a yeah. Because
Yeah.
I see picture from amateur coming up with their own image, and they come up with some quite good result actually.
Oh, okay.
If you follow social media close enough, you'll see the ones that you can actually see spacecraft and everything else on there.
Oh, I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about the real ones. Yeah, 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 you can almost yeah. No. I mean real ones, like real astrophotographer with regular. I mean maybe 20, 25, 30 centimeter telescope and long pole, yeah, long exposure and everything. So they're coming out with quite nice pictures actually.
Oh, good. We'll have to keep that in mind. Lori, you have your hand up.
Yes, I was just going to say that on the 20th, which is our solstice star party at the center, we will be using the telescope. And if it's a nice night,
Oh,
we can possibly look for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
hey.
With
It won't,
200 other people there. Yeah.
yeah,
So there you go.
it probably it won't be up till just checking it. I don't think it comes up until maybe a few hours from now. It's below the horizon right now.
Yeah. So it's closer to midnight or one or two.
Yeah.
Is that what you think?
I can just advance it a little
Yeah.
bit here.
Yeah, some of these are at very awkward times.
Yeah,
I mean,
about 11:15, it'll come over
well,
the
that's not too bad. That's not too
north
bad.
eastern,
Okay.
almost due east at 11:15.
Okay.
So maybe if a couple of people wanted to stay or a few people wanted to stay after the star party, we'll have
Yep.
to be off the hill, but we'll be off the hill by about 10:30 or so. But if you could probably get a permission to stay. So
Okay. Okay. Well,
okay.
let's keep that in mind. Yeah, let's definitely keep that in mind. So there's some more information. I think most of this is actually on the internet. But I think one of its claim to fame is that it has unusual content. I think it has CO2 or something like that in it. So it's an oddity, which is what caused people to kind of make kind of like outrageous claims about it, I guess. But I don't know any more about it than that. I myself, I didn't have a lot of strong interest in it because it wasn't really anything that I could even potentially see. So, but CJ, I think you make a very valid argument to we should try, right? I mean, that's if we have the weather, that we should definitely try.
Yeah, I just checked. It will come into the Plaskett window at about 2 o'clock
Okay.
in the morning. If yeah, I can yeah, I checked it with Stellarium and the or maybe I can share.
Yeah, you go ahead and share if you want.
Yeah. So okay, let me share something. So yeah, so I wrote a script for Stellarium that draw the window of the Plaskett Observatory.
Oh yeah.
So in red you have the window visibility of the Plaskett, and at the bottom left, zone 3, you have the cross here centered around Triae Atlas at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's just gonna go like that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's gonna be challenging for yeah. It's not gonna come up into the window of the Plaskett before like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so this is in the north. I can see Orion there, so that's I guess in the east, I guess. Or it might be south.
Yeah, well I can't
South
move the window
maybe.
because it's a screenshot, but I've made a script of that insert the window of visibility of the Plaskett telescope into Stellarium. So it
Okay.
it allows to see what we can see with the Plaskett at what time, basically.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we could probably figure something out for VCO as well, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
we've got some time. We have time.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Thanks. Okay, so we've done Natasha, Jeff, me. Uh, let's let's go to Darren, actually. Darren has a an interesting product that he's been working on. If people don't know, I mean, Darren is an active VR developer, and he's just been working on something called Night Simulator. I think he said in his note to Randy and I that he's been motivated because there's some kind of contest, and Darren, maybe you can tell us about the contest. Let's lead with that.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I've been working on the project for about 2.5 years, and I've just kind of been slowly working away at it, just like a person who's building like a hobby train set in the basement, right? Um, and yeah, there was a meta competition that was put on about a month ago, so that really motivated me to get it to a presentable state, making a trailer and making the app more functional. And so in the end, I ended up making the trailer and getting everything submitted. Now I'm just waiting for the results, which will be in like a week and a half.
Mhm.
But yeah, I thought I could share the trailer with everybody.
Actually, while you're doing that, Darren, for those of us who are not developers, what's the importance of the MVP?
In what regard? Like, what do you mean?
Well, it's developed just to give people an idea, like maybe people that potentially might not want to invest in it or see it
Yeah,
developed.
yeah. So, I mean, for the 2.5 years, I've been modeling it and creating all of the assets to go into basically recreating the Plaskett telescope and how it operates. But then I've had this idea of allowing the user and a bunch of users, so it's multi-user, so you can have like a virtual star party to be
Hmm.
able to go in and discuss even things like what CJ was just showing in Stellarium, right? So you'd be able to go into the app and look at what's coming up and point the telescope at it, but also to have a view, like a holographic table in front of you,
Mm.
where you get more of like a God's eye view of the whole universe. So you can scale out and see exactly where the telescope is pointing inside of like the galaxy or outside of our galaxy within a cluster of galaxies, and just to get the scale of how far of an object you're looking at, right? So you could scale right into the solar system and have that fill the whole table, and then see like where the Earth is in the seasons in respect to the sun, and how that's angled within our galaxy, and how the night sky is looking, where it's looking in our galaxy, and where it's looking like at what time of
Mm.
the year. And so there would be a line that comes out. So I'm still working on that, but there would be like basically like a big laser line that comes out and points at the object that the telescope is looking at. So it gives you a perspective
No,
and an
no,
orientation.
Darren, you mentioned that this could be kind of a multi-user experience.
Yeah.
Are you serious about that?
Yeah, I already have that working actually.
Oh, wow.
So like you could have a bunch of us inside of the virtual Plaskett telescope. And I put some historical stuff in there too. Like I put the clock drive back in to where that was. I put the platform back in there, and you'll see that in the trailer. And then I could do like a screencasting, so I could actually walk around and show some of the features that I've been working on
Yeah, go ahead.
if
Do whatever you want to
if we
do.
have time. But yeah, so the idea was to get it to this state where I'm no longer just talking about it like I am now, but able to show everybody what it's starting to look like.
Yeah. I think we have lots of time tonight, Darren, so go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah. Well, I might need, I don't know if it's good. If I have, I'll have to allow system settings. So I might have to jump out and jump back in, but let me see.
Mm. If you need more time, we can come back to you
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
I just have to quit and come back into the Zoom because I don't have permission set for screen sharing.
Okay.
So
All right.
just,
We'll see you in a couple of minutes, I
yeah, in
guess.
like 30 seconds or something.
In
Okay.
30 seconds. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the meantime, Susan, you had some questions. Maybe we could field some questions while we're waiting for Darren to come back.
Yeah, every week we get excuse me, a write-up of what's going on across the country. And I'm not quite sure how how that information is used, because if I'm not in Calgary or Edmonton or Toronto,
Mm.
so I guess I'm curious about what the intention of that weekly newsletter is.
So you're talking about what comes from national, right?
Uh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Uh,
I wonder if maybe Lori could maybe answer that question. Every time we see announcements of events, I tend to localize the content
Well,
anyways, right?
I'm trying to get
I
the
just do that for myself, right?
I think just jumping in here, I think the main intention of that newsletter is to show fellow members what's happening across the country. I
Hmm.
don't think it's
oh,
necessarily advertising events, although obviously if you're in the correct location at the correct time, it's good for that. But I mean, it's just to give members a broad sense of the national outlook of RASC. Because I mean, we get sort of wrapped up in our local centers, and
mm,
it's kind of nice to hear what other people are doing.
mm.
And it is timely, and a few of them are virtual.
Well,
So
I did
That's a good
wonder
point.
because from time to time I've seen something and I thought, oh, I wish I could go to that, but there doesn't seem to be any sort of clear link to join in.
Hmm.
I've
Yeah.
just
Well,
called it, it's
as
called,
Joe said, some of them are virtual and you can join in, but some of them are not. Like in fact, I mean our last um UVic or the RAC at UVic
yeah.
presentation was put there, but we don't put that one on, we're not streaming that one. So it was just basically for everybody to realize that this is, we have a speaker. I
Mm,
mean, sometimes you can kind of like, oh, if they're using a speaker somewhere or they've got
Hmm.
somebody, then maybe we can, get that person as like to help to do it virtually for us. So yeah,
mm,
it's a really good way. And in fact, the lady that's doing all of that, she combs through all the RASC
mm,
centers websites and
Hmm.
finds out what's on for the following week. So she's doing that. She's doing that every single week. She in order to get all the information. So
mm.
we don't actually, as long as it's on our website, we don't need to actually, unless we want to, give her something specific for us. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just scrolling through the one that I got earlier today, and it doesn't look like there's anything that I could join in on. Although there's a Park Talk series, the astronomy and cultural significance of the longest night, winter solstice, featuring Roland Deschênes and with a QR
From
code.
Calgary.
So I don't know. Yeah, I just wondered, but now you've answered my question. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you have an additional question, Susan, or was that the
I,
question?
I do, and this is more for Lori, I suppose, but um, I, how do I know if a vacancy is available for an upcoming star party? Like anytime I've gone on, it's always full. And yet I know that people
Hmm.
cancel. So how does anybody find that out?
Laura, you're muted.
Sorry. Are you a member of the FTAO? Like,
No,
have you paid your $30 a year or whatever it is? Okay,
no.
because those, then you'll get kind of some specialized thing. You will not know unless you put down in the list. If you don't get on for some of the tickets, it will ask, I believe, if you want to be put on a wait list. And if you are
Not
put on a wait list, then you'll get a phone call later.
Oh, no, I didn't see any.
Okay.
I
I'll
did not
talk
see
to you
any.
later, Susan. I can get you, I can get you
Okay,
individually in that.
thanks.
Okay,
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah, good questions, Susan.
Thanks.
I think Darren's back,
Yeah.
so go ahead, Darren.
Okay. Yeah. So before I play the trailer, let me just share my screen. Perfect. So just tell me if you could see it.
Yes, we see it.
Okay. I don't know if
It's
it should play
blank.
audio. Yeah. So before I play it, I just want to say that the music in it is from Vox Humana. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
Kathleen Allen is the one who wrote this. So this song was actually specific by the choir, was specifically written for the observatory and was recorded at the observatory. So I thought it fit. I really wanted to use that as part of the
Nice.
trailer. Hopefully the audio plays from it as well. Let me just make sure that that's shared, but I'll start it. Can you hear the audio?
I don't. Yeah, you have to in the share, there's
Yeah.
a extra checkbox.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Let me just make sure here. I'll start at the beginning. Share for audio. Yeah.
Yeah. Just around
Play.
here.
Yeah, it's it's been a while since I've done any switch to microphone, select speaker. I did it the other day. Test speaker and microphone? No.
No, it's when you do the share, it's in the lower right quadrant.
Oh, advanced
And
computer audio.
there's two checks.
Yeah, I see
One
it
of them for
there.
sound.
Computer audio. I think I got it here. Share that.
Like Darren, you typically have to stop share and reshare and check the box in the share window.
Right.
Yeah.
Share audio.
Yeah,
Okay,
otherwise
here, just tell me if you could hear it, because I did check it on this, so you'll hear a noise right now.
I do.
Okay.
Perfect.
Welcome to Night Simulator, where
we
you'll
don't see
learn
your
to
screen though. We
master
don't see your visuals.
the night.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'll just stop sharing and then share it again and do the whole.
Yeah, do the whole thing.
Yeah. Share.
Actually, Darren's screen was available, but Zoom now puts it in a separate tab. You have to go to your top of your window of the Zoom window.
Okay.
It's actually there.
Okay. I didn't know that. Is that in the view setting, Joe?
No, it's just on the top bar of Zoom.
Okay, I got it. Oh yeah, I see it now. Perfect. Thank you.
Just so everyone knows, they keep changing the interface.
Yeah, it's weird because I go to advanced and I could do share audio. But
Yeah,
why would I want to share?
all I see is computer audio is being shared. That's all I see.
Yeah, content only. Share. Oh, is it the checkbox? And of course, there's some share audio. There we go. Okay, I think I got it now.
I think you do.
All right, one more time here.
All right. I don't hear any audio.
No?
Well, I think your audio was down. It looked like your volume was all the way down. Or is it all the way up?
Everything seems up. Let me see.
Can anybody else hear that? I don't hear anything.
No, yeah, I don't know what. They make it difficult to do this part. I selected both.
I've got a tab that says Darren's screen, and before I had a tab that said Darren's audio.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know how you get both.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about this.
No, that's okay. The visual content's the most important part, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could drop the link in here, and you guys could all watch it. It'd help with the views, anyways.
Yeah.
And I'll just do a like a screencast from the headset.
Okay.
I just dropped the link into the chat for everybody there.
Perfect.
Oh, thank you.
So watch it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you could watch it. Let me just get this started here.
Darren has become transformed.
Yeah. It's always a little weird watching somebody on their headset on the screen here. I know it looks strange, but I'll get this. This is easier to do. Then I could talk through it.
So we're going to see what you see, basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, I hear sound.
Can you hear my sound?
Yeah, I hear sound.
Okay. So anyways, this is the multi-user experience. And you have the telescope there. And on your left hand, I could bring up a menu that allows you to control everything. So this is the table I was saying. telling you about. I'm just trying to work on a snapping system here that could snap the UI to it. But you see the table, and you have all the deep sky objects you'd be able to select from, and then it would tell you if the telescope can actually go to that object. And so you'll have seasons that it'll filter by, and right now I have some distances, so things kind of scale out. And it'll just go all the way down. Go back up. And so you could take this panel here with you. And you can do things like control the telescope. So I could open the shutters. And I have the sound effects, if you could hear it. And where are we at here? So I could go to current time. So I could change the time and date. And I can rotate the dome. Thank you. And I could move the telescope. So eventually a lot of this will be, I'll have automated systems in as well. So as you pick an object, it'll go towards it. And I'll have two options where I either have it, it will either go by today's limitations, or it'll have more options. So I'm sitting right now, but the bar is right in my face. And but what's interesting is I made it so the platform can actually go up and down. So this is always fun because this is no longer something you can experience.
Oh, so you're on the catwalk.
Yeah. And it goes up and down. And you have to go pretty slow because VR does make you sick if you do things too quick. So I could go up and take a closer look. So it's fun. It's just fun experience. Then you have all the stars. And you can play with the date. And then I've created different atmospheres and for sunset.
Oh, wow.
So each month we'll have a different atmosphere. I'm still playing with the atmospheres to try and get it as realistic as I can. But I could play with the days, and sometimes the moon shows up, and I have all the lunar cycles in here. And yeah, you could actually ride the platform around. So if I want to turn it, it'll start turning, and sometimes, and then you got to move the telescope out of the way because you'll hit the side.
So you're able to move your head around too, right? Well, this is happening.
Everything is fully virtual.
Yeah.
So you're seeing everything I'm seeing right now. So it's essentially, as much of a stimulation of the Plaskett telescope as it can be. So I'd be able to turn that. And like I said, this is all multi-user. So you would be able to put a headset on and show up over there and hear me talking, and we could discuss what's in the sky, and I could take control of the telescope. So you can see the whole thing moving. What's interesting when you're up here and it starts moving, it seems like it's the base that's rotating and you're staying stationary. So it's kind of trippy that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's most of what I have right now. I could hit the go to home and everything starts to go back, which is always interesting looking at that. And I could close the shutters. I could bring the platform back down. And eventually I'll get the blinds in here as well, because I don't have that. But you could actually climb up those ladders and go wherever the platform is. But yeah, what I'll end up having is at the table, I'll have deep sky objects that you can select.
Wow, that's amazing.
So
this is really interesting, Darren. I noticed you have no controls on your hands.
Yeah, it's all hand tracking.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. So the whole thing is controlled by your hands. And So you don't have to, I have the controllers right here, right? And they're much more accurate. Like if you wanted to use controllers, you could. It's all built to use controllers, and you have joysticks to move around, which is much easier. But there's batteries that are required for these, and they die all the time. You got to find them. And then they're more accurate though. Like you could move them behind you and stuff, and they get tracked easier. But all in all, the hands are just more, they're just less to deal with. So
well, obviously they're accurate enough for you to push buttons.
they're very good. And they have all these things called micro gestures now.
Yep.
So to move around, what you do is you put your thumb up and you tap your thumb, and then a beam comes out of it. And then wherever you want to go, you just tap, tap, tap. If you want to turn, you just like swipe your thumb left and right. And
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Is that universal across all VR sets, or?
It's on the Quest devices right now. So
okay,
this is pretty much the most popular
okay.
headset by far. They have the best ecosystem, and Meta's been pouring literally billions of dollars. Like I think they spent somewhere like 70 billion in the last 4 years on
That's
developing
amazing.
virtual reality. Yeah.
I noticed Vince has his hand up. Vince, do you have a question?
Oh, I was going to ask the same thing because I'm actually running the Pimax Crystal 8K, but that does not work on Meta's ecosystem. So
No, so I'd have to release it on Steam. Steam, probably Steam VR. Yeah, I if I were to go to another platform, it'd be Steam VR, and then you'd use the PC, and I'd have I wouldn't have to worry about limitations at all. I could go way more detailed, way more high res. But Meta just has a lot of infrastructure in place, SDKs, and like the avatar system. There's a lot of plug and play utilities that they have that make it a lot easier to get things going quicker. And then I could focus more on like the systems.
Right. So you actually do plan to release it on Steam, or is that
probably later. At this point, I'm not trying to focus on that, but I'm just trying to get it released.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing.
Would you ever try and see if you could do a live viewing with it, like what the Plaskett is viewing now, or at a specific time?
Oh, that'd be something.
Well, I could do like current time, right? So I could see what I could do is get like weather and simulate a lot of this stuff. But then of course you'd never be able to see anything, or not never, but if you're trying to do a real simulation, you could go a month without actually getting a clear sky, as we all know, right? So you just turn that off. It'd be pretty, that's one of those things where you just turn it off and you can kind of see what's there. So I could make it simulate a lot of what's happening at the Plaskett, but I'd need to get access, like a remote access view or like some sort of API connection to like where the telescope's pointing and what's happening with it to do that, or even some of the programs that get run. I could probably get some of those and have like pre-recorded programs that happen, so I could show an example. So that could be something.
Cool.
Yeah,
very, very cool.
Yeah, that's amazing, Darren. Darren, do you have any? I don't know whether this is possible, but do you have any intent to have like fictitious avatars in your program that you could talk to, or from a historical point of view, could we talk to Plaskett?
Yeah, so I thought of that, right? Like trying to do a recreation of Plaskett that you can ask questions to, but it's right now I had the scope I had was too large for me to ever do anything. So this competition really made me like narrow the focus and get something done.
Yeah.
And then, but it put a lot of the foundation pieces in place that now I could build on top of it. And it's making it a lot easier to have a clear sight on what I need to complete.
Yeah, that's really wise to limit your scope. Otherwise you never get it done, right?
Yeah. So that is something I'd like to do for sure. But I think as I get feedback and I start doing alpha testing and beta testing, like I'd really like to get this up at the center on their VR headsets there. And even like maybe in like a month from now, when I have a lot of the foundation pieces put in, that I could just let people use it. And then I would just put analytics on it and see how it's doing and get some feedback.
Yeah, very cool. Laurie, you have your hand up.
Yes, I was just going to say, Darren, is anybody doing this with another telescope or that you are doing?
No,
Like so we're kind of a first.
we're a first for sure, and it's definitely like a good proof of concept. And like the idea that I would like to do is get this working. If I do well in the competition, then the app is funded.
Oh, okay.
Like really funded.
Yeah.
And I just went through all the other like people I'm up against, and it's looking pretty good. So even if it doesn't matter. It's at a presentable state now. But I would love to get more telescopes in here of like different types with the history. So then you could go to different sites like virtually and have star parties and just like kind of connect all the communities through virtual reality experiences. So that would definitely be the greater vision. But right now it's just to get this out, get people interested in it, try to get some revenue going through it so then it could fund all of the other trips that would be required to collect the data, get the engineering drawings, get all the information and history of those sites, and then start building them in.
And here I'm thinking that we've got something that's completely unique and that we wouldn't want anybody else to have.
Well, yeah, I mean, for now, we would for sure, right? And it'll definitely give a lot of press to our site. But
that would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm hoping, if I could get like some connections to national RASC, and like if there could be a way that this gets promoted or shown, then just to get more eyes on it, and then so if it right, so I could make revenue with it, and then I could actually expand it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Susan.
Fantastic.
Susan has her hand up as well.
Yep.
Hi. So the little bit I understand about virtual reality is it's an opportunity to have an experience remotely, like kind of going to a planetarium.
Pretty much, yeah. And there's a lot of things you could experience within virtual reality. Like if we're all like, this Zoom meeting could be inside virtual reality and we could all be talking, and then you just go to points in the night sky as long as it's programmed in, and you can talk about those things. You can learn about coordinate systems. You can learn about the limitations of the Plaskett telescope, but you can turn those off. Like I could turn off the whole dome and you can just see the sky, and then I could put grids on it, just like Stellarium, but it's multi-user. So what I've done is I've taken a bunch of experiences that I've found in virtual reality, and a lot of them do these solar system tours. Like everybody's stuck on just sending you out into the solar system to be like, look at all the moons of Saturn and Jupiter. And they just keep doing that over and over and over again. And being in the group and using my telescope and getting to operate the Plaskett telescope, I just was like, why isn't there an experience like this where people get to actually operate these telescopes and learn all of the little nuances that are involved with like setting it up and polar alignment, and like how tedious it could be sometimes, right? And so I just thought that would help to expose more people to like the reality of astronomy versus this like solar system tour that they all keep doing.
So Darren, how much of your your regular job, so to speak, is doing training software. How much does that inform what you're doing here?
The fun part about what I'm working on personally with this app is that I get to do things I normally never get to do at work. So my work application is very restricted. It's just like building a UI, a lot of communications between our website portal and our client service and the app that I work on. So I still get to work with interaction systems and all the headsets. Like I have every single VR headset that is in production right now, and that's popular. So I get to work with them all, and I get to see which ones are actually worth like putting my personal time into, which is Quest, because they have the consumer market. But there's not a ton of like, I get to see some training apps and I get to see like what they do, but a lot of them are like in-store enterprise companies that are just training their employees on things. So there are schools doing stuff, but we rarely get to see that stuff.
So the question I had behind my question was, why is Meta spending billions on this? What's that all about?
So a lot of these big tech companies are envious of Apple. So when Apple came out with the iPhone, they kind of created and took a market that no one was aware of because of the advancement of the iPhone. And then they made a digital market, which is the iOS App Store, that nobody could get into, right? And so Apple makes, I'm going to say, like hundreds of billions of dollars on app purchases and their ecosystem. And so a lot of the companies are kind of like, okay, well, we can't compete in that realm. What will be the next future technology? And augmented reality has been poised to take that like leader, like wearing glasses, essentially. Like when we have heads-up display glasses, that will take over everything. And so there's been not really a race, kind of a race, but like this tech battle to make that technology. And so these headsets are just big, like when they had the big cell phones that were bricks, that's this thing here, right? Like that's what we're looking at. And so eventually they already showed glasses that are quite a bit smaller. They're thick frames, but they have better displays in them, and the augmented reality stuff is coming. So between mixed, like virtual reality is really good for training. Augmented reality is really good for remote viewing and like having holographic characters and recognizing the world and doing like recipes and AI stuff. Like AI really boosted everything. But that's why they're spending billions, because they see a market, like they're pioneering a new market, and they're trying to get what Apple got a decade and a half ago.
That's
Right?
an interesting observation, but you're absolutely right. I mean, people are making money hand over fist after things that people didn't think would do it, right? But then when that convergence happened, right?
Yeah.
History,
And
right?
and Meta's doing quite well in terms of their sales for these headsets. Like a few years ago, they were at over 20 million. I think they're probably at, I'm going to say 50 million headsets at this point. And that's virtual reality, and augmented reality will end up being like your cell phone everywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
thanks so much, Darren, for introducing this. I mean, a couple of years from now, who knows what we'll have, right?
Yeah, we'll have the glasses for sure. They're going to come out.
Yeah.
They will be out.
All right. Thank you so much, Darren. I
Darren,
think,
Darren,
yeah.
how much time have you spent creating the world's largest VR observatory?
I started 2.5 years ago, and to do the sprint that I just did to submit it to Meta, let's just say I didn't sleep I was sleeping like 4 hours a night for 3 weeks. So I was working nonstop from 9 a.m. till 3 in the morning.
So
And
hundreds of hours, not thousands?
I'd say at least probably 1,000, maybe 1,500 hours. Because like I go regularly at it. I have like ebbs and flows with it. So there'll be like 2 months where I just don't do too much on it. And but this 1 month would have taken me a year. Let's just say that. What I did in this last month usually would have been a year's pace, which was great. I'm so glad to get it to this point, because to get here next year would have been like,
it sounds like it's hard to keep momentum, eh, Darren?
Well, it was all the systems, and like everything was quite scattered. You know, like there's a lot of things to work on. You have to do modeling, interactive system building, understanding like astronomical algorithms, which I used AI to help with a lot of the math and that. And when you create your systems, if you go back to modeling, then you kind of forget how they were all connected. And then you got to go back into being like, oh, the sun, because when you do the sun system is controlled by the time system, and the time system has a current time and a set time, and then You have and then you have the dome, like the system that runs the whole observatory, where you're like all the buttons that you're pressing to move everything. That and then that has to end up being correlated with the time system if you're going to tie it in with what time of day it could actually operate at in the year. And then that'll end up tying in with the system that limits everything and the system that determines like the whole catalog. And then you have to get the catalogs in place. And then there's a star catalog that actually like instantiates all the stars in the sky. And so it just goes on and on, right? And
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so you have to remember all these things, but it's been like years of going back and forth with it. So this last month, I was like, okay, put it together, and I just went into like hyper mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. So exciting.
Darren, question for you. The amount of headset time that you have is probably massive. Have they advanced enough that they're not causing eye problems and strain problems and things like
Yeah,
that?
so I know there's a lot of like fundamental rules. So a lot of people when they try VR, if they try something that's like that makes them excited but is made to make you sick or not, like they break the rules. Like there's a lot of these AAA games companies, AAA companies that are making these games like Batman, Arkham Knight, and like Assassin's Creed or racing games or flight simulators. Those are all no-go VR games. Like you do not want to put this thing on your face at all and play any of those. Some people can handle it, but the majority of people cannot handle those types of things. They just make you sick. So there's guidelines to locomotion, how you move around the world and how you build the worlds to keep people from being sick. The observatory in astronomy is an absolute perfect experience for not making people sick because it's slow and detailed, and all the information is in the detail. And you move the telescope, it could make you a bit woozy, but even in reality, when you go to the dome and you see it turning, they always say if it makes you dizzy, like look down and stop looking at it. But that happens in VR as well, right? Especially if you're standing on that platform. If you stand on the platform, make it go up and down, and make it start. Especially when you start spinning it, it could make you not feel so great. So that's why I have to make everything nice and slow to fit within these parameters of not making you sick. But I for one am one that knows that you can't break these rules, and a lot of companies do. And then somebody will try their first experience in VR with one of these games that break the rules, and they get so nauseous, and they're like, "I hate VR." And you're like, because you tried the most, you didn't try a good experience. So
thanks for sharing. Thank you.
Yeah. Hopefully, quick question there, Darren.
Yeah.
So you've selected an object with the telescope.
Yeah.
Are you pulling images from the Plaskett database, or when you're zooming in on, say, a galaxy, what image is displayed?
Yeah, so I'm limited to like what I've gotten so far. Like right now, I've made the Messier catalog, but and I do have, and these are all basically just scraped from like public access. And I have like the best, like the top 100 of the NGC catalog, something like that. So I have like roughly 300 objects. So yeah, I would use that. I need to do some optimization on those images where you like put them all into one image. But yeah, when you go to look at that, you would see like a close up of it through the telescope. I'll probably put some kind of display, or like you could look through an eyepiece, like I could put in like an old eyepiece that you could look through, but it would show up on the table, and it would show up like what you'd have is like a 3-dimensional map of the scales that I was showing you, and then it would have a call out on top of that, like with a little line, and it'd give you all the detail information about that deep sky object.
Wow, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll want an update in another half year or year, I guess.
Yeah. So now I got quite a bit of momentum on it because I got it to a good point. So,
That's
well,
excellent.
yeah, for sure. In like another half a year, I'll have it to a really good stable state. But I'm thinking in the new year, probably in like 2 months from now, I'd love to get it up at the center onto their VR headsets, and then anyone can try it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're going to segue to CJ with that custom dew shield, and then unless there's more stuff, I think we will end with Ken and his update on his remote telescope in Texas. So CJ, kind of carry it forward now.
Well, it's hard to come up with something as exciting as the VR tour of the
You don't want
telescope.
to follow this, right?
Yeah, it's I can do nothing more. But awesome job, Darren. Actually, it was actually amazing. Yeah, I'm just gonna share something that I come across the other day that might interested people that are enjoying doing observation in the damp night sky. It's actually okay. Let me.
Actually, while CJ's doing that,
Yeah.
for people that are beginning, do you, I mean, when people observe, there's a part of the year where you actually end up having moisture on your optics, right? So that's what he's going to talk about. It doesn't happen that often, and a lot of people, if they're not, really dedicated observers, they give up and they just don't bother, right? Or they wipe off the optics and stuff like this. So the real way to do this is to have some kind of heater that's not hot but above ambient, so that it keeps the moisture from developing in the first place.
Thank you, David. Yeah, I was forgetting the introduction to the purpose. So it's actually a company out of China, GLC PCB, that does all kind of service, 3D product, and they're coming up with this custom-made heater. So you see here, you choose a dimension, and then you want to have silicone, and you can choose the dimension if you want to choose by temperature, voltage, type of adhesive, and it gives you a coat, and it's actually quite affordable, maybe $15, $20. And so you can choose actually the exact dimension of the dew shield that you need for your scope or your refractor, your Dobson, or whatever you need. You can measure it and then order exactly what you need, power and temperature. So I thought it would be a good way because I know they're quite expensive. And it's always a thing that you put in on the at last on your wish list when you buy equipment, because it's too expensive, but you still miss it when you need it.
So here's a question, CJ. These are the heaters, but do you need some kind of controller to make it work?
Oh, that's a good question. I think they on and off. It's just probably a resistor, probably a flexible resistor. So you're gonna have a power supply, like a 12-volt power supply. If you want to control the power, then you're gonna have a variable power supply that can actually control the current that goes through. And probably the like if you go back, the temperature rating is operating temperature minus 40 to 260. That's the operating temperature. So I guess that the working temperature can be somewhere in between. You can have 20 degrees ambient or maybe 100 degrees if you want to heat something really hot. So I haven't been, I just came across that the other day. So I just was thinking.
Okay. I think Vince has a question. I have a question after. Go ahead, Vince.
Actually, I have a comment. What you want to do is use pulse width modulation for that. You can actually buy them from like Timo and AliExpress, or I'm actually working on the OnStep Ultra board, which will have up to 5 heater outputs and up to 1,000 watts worth of heater capacity. So you can it's a controller that'll actually run your scope for you if you got steppers on it. It'll also control all the heaters. It will also, it's like got a touch screen display and everything else. So there's a couple of different ways you can do it. The latter being, once I finally get this board out the door and the firmware done for it, there'll be the OnStep Ultra available that will run all this automatically.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, Vince, but there's a lot of almost permanent microcontrollers that have lots of PWM ports, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. You can drive this with an Arduino. In fact, if there's enough interest, I'm happy to come down and do an Arduino night, just show people how to put stuff.
That would be great. That'd be fun.
It's dumb simple. I mean, maybe to me it's dumb simple, but I've been doing this for 30 years, designing circuit boards and whatnot. But I would be happy to do a night on that. I'd be happy to do a night on circuit board design. And then we can hop up to Makerspace and go use the pick and place machine up there.
Well, you know, we did have a SIG at one time, or surrounding stuff like that, but we never got it off the ground. But maybe you're the man.
Maybe, maybe. Like I said, I have all the facilities. We've got, we can do reflow. We have a Autotronics pick and place machine up there. So we can do all kinds of sophisticated stuff. And you just bring your ideas.
Sounds great. Sounds
That would
great,
be
Vince.
great for
Yeah, thanks.
that would be great for the astrophotography SIG too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yep. Bring your ideas. We'll get them made.
I just wanted to mention that thanks. It's nice to have custom made size by the unit, and the control is a different aspect. And this side GLC PCB, there's also 3D printing and machining, CNC machining by the unit. So it's a really good side to prototyping.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
just wanted to share another one if you just have time.
Yep.
It's a picture that I found was interesting.
Oh my God, what is that?
It's Comet Lemon, but with all the satellites you can find.
Right.
It's a guy named Oscar Martin Mezzonero,
Oh my God,
and
look
he
at
took a
that.
picture of Lemon, but he left all the trails of the satellite that he did.
CJ, that like has the texture of like fiberglass or something like that.
Yeah, so it just
It's got
shows
so
that
many
we have,
strands.
yeah, and it's both fascinating and depressing at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. I'd actually like to get a speaker to talk about that. In fact, I think I had a lead on somebody who would be willing to speak to that, because I mean, there's obviously the people that deploy these things. They say, "Oh, don't worry," like we make them minimally invasive, but I don't know if that's totally true. And then obviously the way we work nowadays with imaging, we can throw stuff away. It just means that we have to throw stuff away,
Oh yeah,
right?
and they're all coming up. Like Elon Musk has already like over 4,000, and Amazon's coming up. The Chinese are coming up. The European are
Yeah.
coming up,
Oh.
and it's yeah.
Yeah. CJ, do you think there's something to worry about here? I mean, is that something that's
Um,
going to end, some forms of research if we
Yeah,
let it get
they're
over?
already measuring in the high atmosphere higher concentration in metal particles, because all they say those satellites a Starlink satellite might have a year or two of lifespan up there. After that, it just goes back in and just gets pulverized into the high atmosphere. But getting pulverized, that means that all the metal gets spread out in the high
Oh,
atmosphere
right.
and stays up there. So that's one concern. And then for the one that stays up there, it's a concern. You're going to have a hard time to launch anything through that field of debris without having major issues. And there's I kind of, it's not the Kendrick effect. I can't remember. It's an effect where it's snowballs, like debris creates debris and creates debris, and then
Yeah. We used to always say that space is so vast, you'll never bump into anything, but maybe we're creating our own mess here, right?
yeah. And 2 weeks ago, the Chinese space agency actually contacted the NASA to tell them that they had one of their satellites that were getting into conflict with the American ones, so they had to divert.
Mm.
And another concern is that Elon Musk had promised to keep the Starlink satellite tight with the frequency bandwidth, so it wouldn't leak. Outside is assigned bandwidth for telecommunication, and he hasn't done such a good job. So you have a harmonics that leaks outside his bandwidth, actually polluting some frequency that are used for research. So that's also
Mm.
another concern.
Wow. We
Yeah.
definitely need to get a speaker to talk to us about that
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure. Yeah.
Great. Thanks so much, CJ. So I think if there isn't more stuff, I'd like to end with Ken's report on his remote telescope. Now, Ken, this has been in the offing for at least a year, hasn't it? Like you've been wanting to get something out remotely.
Well, yeah, I've been thinking about it. I kind of wanted it out by September, but my world doesn't move that quickly.
Oh, okay.
So I'll see what I can find here.
You need to do sprints like Darren does.
I searched around and found this Starfront Observatory in Texas, and it seemed to be the most reasonable one. I'll get the prices a bit earlier. This is Brave Falls. He seems to be the guy that put it all together.
I don't see anything if you're trying to share.
Oh, maybe I didn't even start to share.
No, you haven't.
Huh. There you are.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, and I gotta do something with the gallery to get it out of my way.
You may not be able to just ignore it because we won't see it, right? We don't see it.
Well, there's Starfront's a place I found. It's in Rockwood, Texas, about the center of Texas. And this is Brave Falls. He, I believe, is the guy that started up and the main guy down there. They've got quite a crew. And the ones that I talked to have all been really nice to deal with.
Oh, are there four? One, two, five, five sheds?
This is June of 2023. And so that's sort of the first start. And this is recently.
Oh, they're roll-offs with. So how many scopes are in each roll-off?
I don't know each one, but well, probably about 70 or so. Because I think last summer I heard they had 470 going on 500. And
Wow.
as of 2 nights ago, they had 617 scopes there. So the guy's really got a good business going for him.
Wow.
You know, there's quite the demand.
Oh, look at them all.
Crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost looks like a mock-up, but it's real, isn't it?
It is.
Wow. Oh my God, look at that.
The telescope salespeople must just be absolutely grinning ear to ear looking at this.
Yeah. Ken, this has got nothing to do with it, but it makes me think of the soldiers, the terracotta soldiers in China, all lined up right in a row.
It's a hell of a star party, just missing people.
Well, they're all in their homes, right? That's the idea, right?
Yeah. Border one skies, they claim. So these are pictures taken from down there, of course.
So Ken, this is basically a remote business, but do they plan on having maybe visiting people that want to do stuff live?
No, they prefer
They're all remote.
I mean, you can go set your scope up and stuff like that, right? But they prefer not to have people there from a video conference I was on the other night. You know, there's security reasons, I guess, but the neighbors there too, they're very few and far in between, and they don't like people on their road down there and blah,
Okay,
blah,
I got it.
blah.
I got
it. Yeah, they're just not that interested in it. This is the first power supply I put together for it, which had a CASA mini smart switch into a transformer setup I built and a VPN.
So can you remotely turn your units on and off then? Is that the idea?
Using the CASA switch, I can.
Okay.
Right through my phone, through the CASA app on the phone. So, and you want that, I'll just carry on here a bit and I'll explain that to you then. So I put 120 volt by 12 volt transformer inside here and a 12 by 5 volt buck converter.
Yep.
And some USB. But with the VPN and everything else and running ZWO equipment and not knowing what I was doing, it all got too complicated. So I simplified things and just got another UPS and put the CASA switch here, power into a straight transformer I glued onto the side of the UPS. And that way I can turn it on and off if you want to reboot your the ASI Air.
Yep.
And so that gives you the opportunity to do that. The mini computer should be on all the time. It's on the UPS side of the battery here.
So how long can you live if you lose power?
I timed it for 18 minutes before the battery started to beep.
Okay, so you shut down within that time then, right?
No, it should only take them 5 minutes to fire up their generators.
Oh, okay.
And if they can't get those going, then you got more problems, right? They have more problems and just have to work it out from there. And there's the front of it. The red cable out there goes to a planetary camera on the pier, so the pier cam.
That's kind of like your webcam, or?
It's an ASI 664, 662, something like that. Planetary camera, and it's looking up at the telescope.
Right.
So watching it bounce off piers and that. I packed everything up and then it all wrapped up. I turned the box over and heard a big thunk. No. So I turned it over again and still heard a thunk. And I said, well, I can't ship it away like that. So I ended up taking it apart, finding it was a power supply. And this board here hadn't been glued in or anything. So I threw some glue in there and put it back together again. But
oh, wow.
A lot
well,
of
it's a good thing you found out before you sent it there, right?
Well, I couldn't let it go down with a noise like that. And it's a lot of wrapping and unwrapping. But I ended up taking the ZWO AM5 mount out of this package because otherwise it would have had to have been mailed back to me. They don't store stuff down there.
This is this is the new version, right?
Yeah, that's the AM5N.
Yeah.
That's telescope I sent down. Add-ons would be a flip flap or flat.
Yes, that's for your flats, right?
Yeah. And this is AstroDATS, which is compatible with the ZWO gear. And it slides off, it just drops down and rotates around instead of folding out, which helps pier-wise. The size of your pier depends on the radius of your telescope, the room it takes up. So,
do they supply the piers, or do you have to supply a pier yourself?
The piers. Yeah.
Okay.
A 250 millimeter guide scope and a 220 mm guide camera. And this is the computer, which is the ZWO ASI Air Plus, and an automatic focuser. You can also see here the camera rotator, 7-filter wheel, and an ASI 2600 mm camera.
Did you weigh the payload? Like, do you know what that weighs? Or
boxed up with all the peanuts, 62 pounds.
Like the workbench.
I numbered all the everything and color coded the wires. So you can see the focuser wires that one, and that would go off to the dew shields and that. I didn't have enough power ports, so I have two dew shields, one on the scope and one on the guide scope. So I just split the wires there, tied them together, and I only use half power now. And I don't imagine there's a lot of dew down in the desert anyway. I don't know. Haven't been down there.
Ken, you said your flat cap there. Who makes that flat cap?
It's this particular one's Astrodad.
Okay.
Out of the UK. I bought a Wondershare one, if anybody wants it.
You don't like it, or?
Well, it runs in Nina and that, but I don't have it won't run with ASI Air.
Oh, it's not in the ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you said it rotates, so it rotates down, but it when it goes up and closes, you don't get any light loss, no light leaks, I guess, take it.
They've got 3 magnets in there.
Okay.
So the magnets just clip it in a bit. And they've got rules at the observatory if they you don't do your lights during the nighttime. They've got to be done during the daytime.
Yeah, because you don't want to foul up anybody else's stuff.
If you leave your light on at night, the flat light on at night, you get 1 plate warning. If you leave it on again, you get 1 stern warning. If you leave it on for a 3rd time, you're out of there.
Oh, wow.
So this is all the parts and pieces I put into that box, sitting on my dining room table. I packed it up very well. There's peanuts up to here. I put bubble wrap around to hold everything together. Peanuts to the top, shoved paper around, and flipped it over and did the other end.
Well, you did it. Looks like you did a good job. You know, like for some people, for really delicate stuff, they actually create custom crates, actually. But thankfully, you didn't need to do that.
No, I think you could have dropped that off the truck and nothing would be hurt. So I had to take one last picture of it just in case I didn't see it again. This went from here at the airport down to Memphis, where it was held up for quite a while down there. Then I received a call from them asking me what it was made of. And I said aluminum, and I thought, oh, I shouldn't have started with aluminum. And plastic and glass. But I ended up getting a bill for $1,365 American.
Well, is like a tariff thing, or
tariff and UPS. Anyway, I'm fighting it right now. That's even the guys at UPS said that's absolutely ridiculous. It's getting on to a couple of grand Canadian. And here it is under the roof.
Wow, look at that.
So,
does it have your name on it?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, there you go.
I forgot to do that too, so they wasted a bit of their painter's tape on it by the looks of it. Now, if I can find something else here.
So what time zone are they at? I'm trying to remember. 2-hour difference?
They're Central Time, so they're 2 hours ahead of us, which is kind of nice, right?
Okay. So you could maybe potentially broadcast at some point.
Oh, absolutely. That's the plan. I mean, this, if I had a broadband camera on it, then, yeah, it'd be good for outreach, I thought. I've been through all those. Oh, that's what I was going to do is see if I can get rid of some of this stuff.
So Ken, do you worry that this might produce too much data?
Oh, all the time. So I use Google or Chrome remote desktop to get into it. I've got two ways into it, this way in Autodesk. And so this is a computer down there. I should try and figure out something better for the camera, but this is all I've got right now. And of course, you're stuck with ASI stuff. So,
Do you think you might eventually go Nina or something like that? Or
that's my next project. It's about time I learned Nina.
okay. And you sort of cut the ties to the proprietary stuff.
Yeah. So this is inside the building right now. The roof's closed. I guess the weather's bad down there right now. And the lighting's not very good, and I got to tune that camera up a bit more.
Mm.
But with the ASI Air, it's meant for iOS systems, right? So I have to use a Android emulator, which is the LD player, to get onto it.
So when do you see first light? When do you think?
I've already tested. I've been in the testing phase.
Yeah.
You know, I had some pictures last night. You know, did up to a 1,000-second sub, and still I've got to get a couple things working on it. And so there it is.
Excellent.
And maybe sometime I can go through the operations, the ASI Air, completely on air as we do it.
Yeah, that sounds really, really good. Wow. But things are happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, what do I do with the data?
Yeah.
So I take it's a bit more comfortable than sleeping in your van waiting as you're collecting images.
Well, unfortunately, I have a couple of other telescopes, so I'll probably be forced into doing that again.
Why not have both? You could have both.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And actually, a friend of mine came up to me today and said his daughter's an astronomer, and would you think she'd be able to use it? And I said, well, you know, but thinking about it, why not?
Yeah, you could maybe even sell some time on it.
Well, even if she, you know, whatever data she downloads, you know, I can be using too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I don't have to figure out what to take pictures of.
Okay, Vince has a question.
Yes,
You
Vince.
mentioned something called a flat cap. Sorry, I'm very new to digital deep sky photography.
Basically a flat panel, right?
Okay.
Is
But
what it is.
remote control.
And some places have different names for it. It seems like down in Texas is flat flap.
Flat flap.
and it's completely automatic.
Yes, I run that right off the little ASI Air on the telescope.
Oh wow, that's really neat. And you said you had a spare one that you were looking at maybe getting rid of, or did
I've got a Wondershare one.
Oh, okay.
It's 125 millimeters. You just put them on the end of your scope, and there's a nut you tighten up there, and
interesting.
Easy to put in. Plug two wires into it.
I'd be interested in that. I'm always I struggle with flats every single time.
Oh, it's so sweet. You don't have to mess around hauling panels around or anything like that. Or
Yeah, it's one of the banes of my existence is flats and darks.
Flat Daddy's one that Wayne put up.
Yeah, Pegasus makes one as well. There's quite a number of flat automated
I think mine's
flat.
a Wondershare.
Okay, I'll go check that.
The one that doesn't work with my gear.
Yeah, the to work with the ASIR, it's somewhat limited. If you're using Nina and whatnot, you can integrate a lot of the other ones.
Yeah.
I know I've been quite interested in them too.
I'm mostly using SharpCap because I do a lot of scripting and I really understand the Iron Python and how
Yeah.
to.
So you just, Vince, you just need an ASCOM driven device, then that's all you need.
I've got a whole pile of them.
Yeah.
I know nothing about that. That's why I stuck with ZWO. Keep it simple.
Well, I would be willing to trade hardware developer credits for such a thing. So
I used to be able to sell fish, trade fish.
Hey, Margie, you have a question?
Yes, hi Ken.
Hi.
When it seems to me, I could be wrong. It seems to me that when you started all this a few years ago, did you did you even own a telescope kind of before your van thing?
I never even looked up before a couple of years ago. When I was out fishing, it seemed like whenever it got dark out, I just wanted to go to bed and get some sleep. So yeah, it was everything's just totally new.
Yeah, you've come a long way in a short time.
Thank God for YouTube.
Well, that's wonderful. Thanks so much, Ken. Is there anything else before we end this evening?
Yeah.
Oh, Lori. Lori has some announcements. Go ahead, Lori. Lori, are you there?
Here.
Let me see if she's still there. Oh, she disappeared. Okay, I guess I have to do it. Tomorrow, I believe, our council meeting is occurring tomorrow, up at the hill at the center of the universe. Until we understand otherwise, I think that will start around 7:30 tomorrow night. Let's see if there's anything else. Of course, there's you can go to the Center of the Universe website for any of the kind of seasonal events. There's one coming up on the 20th, I believe. There's pancake breakfast, and I think even Santa Claus makes an appearance. I believe so, anyways. Yeah.
David,
Yes.
Lori posted in the chat some more details about tomorrow.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so check that out. Check that out. So no book reviews. I thought there might be some book reviews tonight.
One comment about the council meeting.
Yes.
In the last little while, I got an email from Dan about the meeting saying it starts at 6:30.
Whoa, really? I better check that. I thought it would be the usual 7:30 time. Well, I'll have to confirm that.
Yeah, in Lori's message, she says we're starting at 6:30, but a person will
Oh,
be at the gate for 6:15 to let people up.
okay. Then I was
First
wrong.
time in ages they're meeting in person.
Okay, thank you. That's good. Otherwise, I would have come late. Thanks, Chris.
So the gates will be open then at 6:30? 6:15?
The gates will open at 6:15.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, perfect. Okay, well, this, as I say, is the last official Astro Cafe. So I wish everybody season's greetings, and I hope everybody has a great break until we reconvene. Take advantage of any of the things that are going on at the center of the universe, and yeah, I wish you folks all well. Yeah, that'd be great. And hopefully we'll have lots of reports next year, maybe some reports from Chris and lots of new things. And then you can tell me all the new Astro toys you got at Christmas and or the new books and stuff.
That's what I was
So,
hoping. That's what I was hoping to share real quick. You know that little refractor I bought at the swap meet.
yeah.
Well, I've got that thing out here running right now. I just wanted to, if anybody's interested, share what I'm looking at right now. This is
Oh,
why
okay. Okay.
I'm in a
We
dark
have
tent.
time.
I'm in a dark tent in my backyard. So I just wanted to show you how well that thing performs. It's just amazing. So I don't know if everybody can see
Well,
that.
even your dog thinks it's amazing.
That'd be the neighbor's dog. He's making sure that I'm supposed to be back here.
Oh, look at that. M31.
Yeah, so that's what I'm currently looking at through that little 70 mil refractor that I bought. It's just the
Wow, look at that.
it's amazing.
Wow. Good purchase.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I've been waiting for ever since I bought it. Of course, when you buy a scope, it's going to rain, right?
Yeah.
So I've been paying the new scope punishment tax for what, 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
So we got a clear night.
Absolutely wonderful. What a great way to close out cafe.
Great content today, guys. Awesome.
Yeah, it was a wonderful session tonight. Absolutely great. Anyways, good night, everybody.
Right.
Christmas.